Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Della Puspa Widyastuti. I would like presentation about planning your work. The teacher gives the lesson to the pupils so that the pupils can gain knowledge that he did not yet understand. The teacher are required to be active and the teacher must be able to take the advantages of pupils' environment in the classroom or the outside classroom with the aim supporting teaching and learning activity. The professional teacher must be prepared before teaching is also an important aspect. Things that the teacher must be prepared before teaching. The first is the teacher must prepare lesson plan or RPP. What is RPP? RPP contains steps that will be used in the teaching and learning process. Preparation of lesson plan can also make it easier for teacher to remember what is important things in the learning process or the subject matter. The second is the teacher prepare learning media. Learning media to facilitate for pupils to understanding the lesson, to attract the attention to student in the order stimulus, cognitive, and psychomotor student. The third is preparing and studying learning material before teaching. Learning material is information in the form of tools and texts that are used for planning and to assist in teaching and learning activity in the classroom. Teacher understanding the learning material to be able to optimally to teach. The fourth is understanding student character. Teacher need the analysis to understanding student character, the nature, behavior, and the learning ability of each of them. To get know and understand the character of student can lead with the personal approach, interview, and ask personal question and provide solution when there are personal problem. The last is determine approach model. Determine approach model, method, strategy in teaching that is should be adapted to the material and character of student to be too. Next, why the good teacher plan their work. The first is it make life much easier for teacher in the classroom. The second is it is save the time. We can adapt the plan for future use. You become aware how much activity to take. It is much quicker to check at the end of the lesson what actually happened, and you get a quicker or preparing work with experience. The third is you know what you will need for each lesson. The fourth is you can more easily see how to balance your lesson. The fifth, learning process become more structured and make a teacher confident. Next, it's allow you to use more of your energy and enthusiasm to enjoy what you are doing instead of worrying about what to do next or looking at the next page of the book. The last is as a pupils get older, they become more aware of how well prepared the lesson are and they like to have well prepared. I think enough. The next material to be delivered by Aas.
My name is Aas Mutiara Anindung. Okay, next. When, how, and with whom to plan. We can divide planning into 3 stages. First, long-term planning, which may be for a whole term. Second, short-term planning, which might be for a unit of work. And third, lesson planning for individual lesson. Although long-term planning is followed by short-term planning, which is followed by lesson planning, the three types of planning are different. Long-term planning will take place either before or at the beginning of term, and you can do it before you even see your pupils. Talk to the parents about what you intend to cover if this is at all possible. If you are using a textbook, look through the list of content and the teacher guide. If you are not using a textbook, decide regularly what you want to cover this term and how long it will take you for each unit or topic or language item. If you are working in a school where other subjects are taught, try to work with other subject teacher as well. And if you are teaching in your surrounding, you should check where everything is and what there is at school. Okay, enough from me. Next.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Satria Pratama. Today I will explain about short planning. What is the short planning? Short planning is method or strategy that teacher use for solving their problem. Usually some people use this method for solving their problem. For example, when a teacher want to evaluate the result of learning, the teacher prefer this method for solving their problem. But in other side, this method always used by parents for manage their money and another needed. And sometimes short planning used because this method have a value that good for solving their problem. Okay, the next is lesson planning. What is the meaning of lesson planning? Lesson planning is strategy that teacher use that teacher want to do during the semester. Usually the lesson plan content explain about the teacher activity during the semester, and lesson planning can use for guide the teacher, and then the teacher can use this method for prepare the next material for the next semester. And by use this method, the teacher can also give the student assignment from worksheet, website, and it's okay. That's all from me. I think enough. I'm sorry if there any mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, my name is Anida Nur Aziza. I will to continue the previous use material. How did it go? When you are looking at how your planning worked out, the most important question to ask yourself is, did the pupils learn what I want them to learn? This can be a difficult question to answer. Science learning takes place over a period of time, but a good time to ask the question is after a whole unit in the text or after a series of lesson on a topic. When it comes to looking at individual lesson, not all teachers come out of a lesson and go through their lesson plan in detail. You don't have to. When you plan the next lesson, you usually check how far you got, what you gave for homework. If you don't Do it after every lesson. You should sit down at the end of the week and go through your lesson plan, working what you did and what you didn't do, and if the activity worked or didn't work. Don't spend too much time analyzing each lesson. Go through it quickly and see what you can learn from it. Then file it away for future references. You can make a quick checklist. First, did the pupil understand the teaching point? Did they learn what they were supposed to learn? Second, did the organization work? Third, did they like the subject matter? Fourth, did I do this part of the lesson? Fifth, was it the right kind of activity at that stake? What to do when things go wrong? Unless your pupil are angel and you are a gift teacher, you must be prepared for things to go wrong or rather not as you planned. Young children are wonderfully spontaneous and do and say whatever comes into their heads. Their enthusiasm sometimes overflows. If they are interested in what they are doing, they will show it. They cannot concentrate for long on one activity, and of course they will find other things to do if their concentration goes. Unless a child is actually being disruptive, then try to make the bits that went wrong into something positive. Sometimes the lesson where nothing goes as you plan can be very successful. Several types of things can go wrong. First, an external disturbance. Something is disturbing the class. A waste is buzzing around the classroom, or a number or fire engines are passing the window. In case like this, either get rid of the disturbance, kill the waste, or get it out of the room, or make use of it. Oh, look at all those fire engines. Teach the word fire engine and then go back to your plan as quickly as you can. Second, an internal disturbance. Something is disturbing on or two of the class. Perhaps one of the pupils bursts into tears or two of them start fighting. Take the pupil aside. You might want to take them out of the classroom. If the class is already working individually or in pairs, then you can simply tell the others to get on with what they are doing and hope that they do. If this happens in the middle of a class activity, give the pupil something quick and easy and quiet to do. Like think about or write 3 words beginning with P, or what was the best or most difficult new word last week. Of course, once you sort the problem out, you then have to hear the word. Do it as quickly as you can and then get back to where you were. Third, the class is out of control. In this case, use a calming activity like telling a story or filling in the word in a text which you read to be whole class. This means that you always have to have what you might call emergency activity ready. Activity that you can use in situations like this. When in doubt, pick up a reading book. 4. An activity is taking too long. You can say that the pupil can do this activity so well already that you want to move. 1. Ask the pupils to finish it for homework. Decided that this activity is so important that you want to spend time on it. This means adjusting the lesson plan for the next time. 5. You have extra time. If you have time left
out, then you can use one of your emergency activity mentioned early. But remember to choose one that suits the mood of the class and try to adapt it so that it fits in with what you've been doing. Of course, you can always say to the pupils, "Alright, today you've been so clever that we are going to play a game or listen to a story or add to our rhyme book." That leaves you free to do whatever you want. 6. An activity doesn't work. If, for example, the cassette player doesn't work, don't spend time trying to get it to work. Leave it and read the text or sing the song yourself. If for some reason you cannot tell the pupils, "The cassette player isn't working, let's do something else." If a game isn't working out, finish off the activity as soon as you can and move on to something else. Don't try to repair or change things like this in the middle of a lesson. 7. An activity is too difficult. If an activity doesn't work because the language is too difficult for the pupils, stop it gently and move on to an easy activity, which you know they can do well. This is very difficult and you've done very well. Let's move on to something else now. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.